At that moment, no one knew that my shining lights were actually rising from within a deep shadow. My fingers were performing a trembling dance on the edge of the coffee cup. Marco's laughter, sitting across from me, was rebuilding my world every single time. This ordinary afternoon, in a noisy corner cafe of New York, the storm in my heart was silently growing. "You're different today," said Marco, with that familiar Italian accent. His voice was touching the deepest corners of my soul. I tried to smile, that perfect fake smile I'd mastered on television sets. But nothing could be fake in front of Marco. "Just tired," I said, noticing or not noticing the crack in my voice. Marco's hand was resting on the table, that strong painter's hand. My fingers were only inches away from his. This distance felt as vast as galaxies to me, but the truly shocking thing was, when my eyes slipped to Marco's lips, I thought my heartbeat would be heard throughout the entire cafe. We've been friends for 6 years. For 6 years, this secret pain has been living in my chest like a growing tumor. "Oliver?" Marco's voice seemed to come from far away. "Can you hear me?" I lifted my head. Marco's brown eyes seemed to be reading the depths of my soul. This was one of those moments when time stops, just like those absurd, coincidental moments that Paul Auster's characters experience in his novels. "Listen," said Marco, his voice taking on a serious tone. "There's something I need to tell you." My world swayed. Was this it? Did Marco also? This is exactly when everything changed. "I'm leaving New York." The words hit my face like a slap. The coffee cup slipped from my hand and fell, brown liquid spreading across the table. But this physical chaos was nothing compared to the emotional collapse inside me. "What?" My voice came out hoarse, as if I'd been smoking for years. "A gallery opportunity came up in Rome. This is the chance of my lifetime, Oliver. I'm leaving in a month." My world was like a building collapsing in slow motion. Marco's lips were moving, sounds were coming out, but I couldn't hear any of it. The words I'd been hiding for 6 years knotted in my throat. As the server cleaned the table with napkins, my gaze wandered over Marco's face. That strong jawline, the lines that appeared at the corners of his eyes when he smiled, that single gray hair. Something inside me broke. This love I'd been silently nurturing for 6 years would now be lost. Marco would leave. I would stay here. And he would never know. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. "Oliver, did you spill the coffee?" Marco was laughing. That laughter shattered into 1,000 pieces in my chest. I quote. My tongue was tied. The words I'd been preparing for 6 years now made no sense. Marco stood up, came to my side. That familiar scent, a mixture of turpentine and lavender, enveloped me. When his hand touched my shoulder, it was like an electric current passed through. A voice inside me was screaming, "Say it now, tell him before he leaves." But my throat was dry. "Look, I know I've been acting strange lately," said Marco, but my heart felt like it would stop. Was this the moment? Did Marco feel it too? "There's one more thing I need to tell you." My breath caught. What I saw in Marco's eyes. Was this possible? "Wait a minute, don't miss this detail." Marco's hand slowly slid toward mine. When our fingers touched, the world stopped spinning. The noise in the cafe ceased. Time stood still. In that moment, I gathered all my courage. 6 years of silence was enough. "Marco," I said, my voice more cracked than cracked. I love you." When the words left my mouth, it was as if a mountain had been lifted from my chest. Marco's eyes widened, then he slowly smiled. "Oliver," said Marco, his voice now a whisper. I love you too." When I heard that sentence, it was as if the world was recreated. 6 years of pain transformed into happiness in an instant. We were both laughing now, tears in our eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. "Now you're seeing nothing." Marco moved closer to me. With his hand resting on my cheek, my heart was beating frantically. "Are you sure?" I whispered. Marco smiled. That smile was like the sun emerging from behind clouds. I've never been more sure. And finally, the first kiss was soft and hesitant. When my lips met his, it was like electricity passed between us. 6 years of longing crystallized in this single touch. Marco's lips were warm, tasting of coffee and hope. My hands wound into Marco's hair, pulling him even closer to me. This kiss wasn't just physical contact. It was the union of two souls. I closed my eyes and drew that moment into myself. Marco's breath on my skin, his hands in my hair, his heart beating in the same rhythm as mine. The moment I'd been dreaming of for 6 years was 1,000 times more beautiful than I'd imagined. When we broke apart, breathless, there was no longer fear in my eyes, only peace. My 6 years of secret pain had ended. Rome, I said, my voice now determined. Rome, Marco repeated, pressing his forehead against mine. On the noisy streets of New York, I had found myself. And this was just an ending. Actually, it was the beginning of our real story. Final surprise, neither of us knew that a paparazzi was photographing these moments from a distance, but I didn't care anymore, because love was stronger than any kind of fear. With Marco's hand in mine, filled with dreams of Rome, we both knew that nothing would ever be the same again, and this was perfect.